the topic of me talking right now is going to be about global warming and about issues involving global warming. And more importantly, going forward with sort of our action as a result of global warming. Really getting frustrated because I think at this point in time we need to stop debating the topic and we need to move forward with solutions. And maybe we are doing that, maybe I'm just impatient, but turning off the lights in your house or carpooling isn't really going to solve problems when it comes to the middle class in China and India coming into wanting the American lifestyle. So we need to move past that. And actually my new argument, which is different from the global warming argument, I think is very applicable to the third world and to them coming out of poverty, to them wanting a new lifestyle, but at the same time having those changes be sustainable. So the big argument is, well, is global warming real? Like, is the temperature in the earth rising? And if it is it a result of what we're doing? And it's very debatable because this is science. And all science is debatable. Anyone who tells you that they know facts, or they use that word facts, or they try to prove to you something, they likely aren't a scientist, because anyone who studies a topic long enough becomes, a so-called expert on it. Those people come to realize that for every question that you do answer, you get 10 more questions that you haven't answered and you don't know the answer to. And you can't, say 100% of the time X is a result of Y, and both those are definitive, because the nature of science is it's a constant learning, it's a constant search for the unknown amongst the known. So with that in mind, in the debate over global warming, I want to talk about a different topic. I want to talk about air, water, and land quality, because I don't think that these are as arguable topics. I think that these are topics that we can agree on, and as a result we can move forward with. And as a result of improvements in these three areas, whether or not global warming is real, we'll see the same positive effects. So let's start with air. When you look across the city skyline in the middle of the day, and it looks like there's a dust cloud in between you and the nearest building, or when you have difficulty breathing, or when you notice that your neighbor's asthma acts up on certain days more so than other days, that's because of poor air quality. And that poor air quality is a result of us creating power by burning coal, or it's a result of us driving our cars a lot, or it's a result of any number of other things, fires, forest fires, or whatever. But for the most part, we know that when you burn something, it puts off smoke, and when you put enough smoke into the air, you get poor air quality, and it results in all kinds of bad things, such as increase in asthma rates, which inner city asthma rates are higher than country asthma rates. Or you look at things like even like indoor air quality, where carpeted homes that collect particles are worse off than non-carpeted homes. Where you look at things, like just general, breathing diseases and problems are going to be more prevalent in cities than they are in the country, because the air is just cleaner. It's just basically cleaner in the country. So I think we should do what we need to do to clean up our air in the cities, because cities are where the vast majority of people on the planet are going to be living in the next 30 years. So if we don't fix the air quality issues, then our kids are going to grow up with lung problems. Our old people are going to die sooner. I mean, these aren't really things that are sort of like, oh, well, with, I guess back in the day it was debatable whether or not smoking cigarettes was bad for you, but now we pretty much all know smoking cigarettes is bad for you. And that although we may not be smoking cigarettes, we're basically, you can say we're smoking cars or we're smoking power plants, because in the cities, the air quality is visibly deteriorated. You don't need a specific test to understand there's more particulates in the atmosphere in cities and in heavily populated areas. So we should fix the air quality. The second thing I mentioned was water quality. And the thing that most people don't understand is that surface water streams are connected to the underground streams or aquifers, which is connected to the ocean, which is connected to everything else. And we sort of learn about the water cycle when we're younger, but then there's this long period of time where we don't ever talk about water. And then we get older and we start paying for water, and we want to pay for the cheapest water possible, and we want to wash our cars, we want to have fish tanks, and we want to have swimming pools. But what we don't notice is that our streams, as a result of increased sort of blacktop, increased parking lots, more roof space because we have more houses, but there used to be forest, our streams have become vastly dirty. And you look at places like we have drinking reservoirs also, and we don't allow boating in those places because we pull drinking water out of that and say, oh well, the drinking reservoirs are safe, to drink. In actuality, even those places have deteriorated water quality that requires treatment. And some stuff you can't treat out of it. Pharmaceuticals end up in our water supply. We don't treat out. And then something like a drought happens, right, where our reservoirs become lower because it's not raining, and our streams become lower because it's not raining, but we still want to wash our cars and do things like take multiple showers in a day because it's hot outside. So then we start to pump the water out of the ground. But like we learned in the 3rd grade, all that water is connected. You can't just pump water out of the ground instead of getting water out of your reservoirs. It has to be the same thing. And either way, we pump the water out of the ground, and now the streams are going to flow into the ground, whereas before the water in the ground flows into the streams. Now you got what should be a sort of clean water source inside the ground. You have dirty streams, next to your highways are now flowing into these groundwater sources, and you're just going to have lots of problems with these water quality issues. The biggest thing that's a pretty simple thing. When I was little, I used to play in the streams as a kid, and it was safe. It wasn't a big deal. We'd catch fish, and we'd catch snakes or whatever. We'd play in the streams. Now you look at the streams, and it's not safe for kids to play in them. E. coli levels are too high. Nitrogen and phosphorus enrichment cause other problems where, places where fish can't live. The streams just in general are very, very dirty. I think it's just sad that the water in our streams, is not safe for our kids to play in. If that water is not safe for our kids to play in, all the water is connected, how is the water safe for us to drink? And if the water is not safe for us to drink, we pretty much can't get by as a civilization. I think we should focus on cleaning up our water supplies. We should manage them well. We should conserve the water we do have, so that when there's a drought, it's not the end of the world. When it's not a drought, we should still use the water sparingly. You save money when you have it, so that you can use it when you don't. You don't just spend the money when you have it, and then when you don't have it, you throw your hands up in the air. Right? We need to conserve the water more. Lastly is land quality. And this kind of goes along the lines of things like we're sort of reassessing landfills. Are landfills really the best thing that we could be doing with our garbage? Is it really solving the problem, or is it just hiding it? It's literally just burying our garbage. Maybe we need to look at different options for dealing with garbage. Recycling is good, but recycling rates are still pretty low. landfills just seem kind of silly. When was the last time you went and buried a problem out in your backyard so you don't have to deal with it? You know, you need to address the problem. Also, you know, land quality issues. You know, we keep cutting down forests basically to put up more shopping malls and put up more apartment complexes, and maybe we should figure out ways to reuse space we've already developed. Maybe we should be smarter about developing what already exists for development. You know, land, you know, it is a finite resource, but we do have a lot of it. But again, you know, you don't use up all your land when you have plenty, and then when you run out, you sort of scratch your head and wonder what to do. You conserve the land, you take good care of it, you're a good steward with it. As a result, you don't have to ever run out. And when you do run out, it's okay because you've made provisions, you've planned accordingly, and things have gone according to plan. So those are my three basic principles. You know, I think that we figure out a way to clean up our air, clean up our water, and to clean up our land, just to take better care of those three very, very important resources, then, you know, our planet will be more sustainable and things will be better off. And whether or not the globe is warming, I don't know, and I can't, you know, I probably can't prove it to you, any skeptics out there. But I can show you. I can walk you out into the backyard and I can show you the smog in the city. I can show you the creek that smells like, you know, doesn't smell like a creek you let your kids play in. And I can take you down the road and I can show you the garbage on the side of the road, or I can you know, take you to the ocean and show you the litter that's washing up on shore, or I can take you to a landfill and look and see just how silly it is that we're burying our problems. Thank you for your attention.